Bills Mafia, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, where we break down everything happening inside one Bills drive and beyond. You already know this team is working non-stop to get better, sharper, and more prepared as we push toward that ultimate goal, bringing a Lombardi Trophy home to Buffalo. And if you're fired up about this season, go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment below, and hit subscribe so you never miss a single update. Now, family, we've got two huge stories to dive into today. One is about a position that usually doesn't get a lot of spotlight until the pressure's on, the kicker. And the other is about none other than Josh Allen, our leader, making headlines off the field with a major partnership that says a lot about who he is as a person. Let's break it all down. The news hit Friday morning and it's official. Tyler Bass is heading to injured reserve with a lingering hip and growing issue. He's been dealing with it throughout camp, and while there was hope he'd be ready for Week 1, the team ultimately made the tough call. That means Bass will miss at least the first 4 weeks of the season. So, who's stepping in? Enter Matt Prater. The Bills signed the veteran kicker to the practice squad Thursday, and now, less than 48 hours later, he's getting the call to kick for Buffalo in the primetime opener against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday night. And let me tell you, Mafia, if you're looking for steady hands, Prater has been there, done that. The man is 41 years old, entering his 19th NFL season, and his resume speaks for itself. Two-time Pro Bowler, a career 83.6% field goal conversion rate, nearly automatic on extra points, hitting over 97% in his career. Oh, and let's not forget, this is the guy who set the NFL record with the 64-yard bomb back in 2013. Sure, he's bounced around, Denver, Detroit, Arizona, but the fact is, the Bills are bringing in one of the most battle-tested kickers in league history. And honestly, for a team with Super Bowl aspirations, that veteran steadiness could make all the difference. Now, of course, there are questions. Prater missed most of last season with a torn meniscus, playing in only 4 games. But before that injury, he was perfect. 6 for 6 on field goals, 10 for 10 on extra points. So the leg clearly still has juice. The real storyline here is timing. The Bills are slight underdogs heading into Sunday night's clash with Baltimore. We all know how physical, high pressure, and razor-thin those matchups can be. And if it comes down to a 45-yard field goal with 2 seconds left, the difference between starting 1-0 and 0-1 could literally come down to the leg of Matt Prater. So, Bills Mafia, here's the question for you. Does this move give you confidence? Are you comfortable rolling with the veteran, or are you worried about chemistry and timing in such a critical Week 1 matchup? Now, let's flip gears and talk about our quarterback, our MVP caliber leader and the face of this franchise. Josh Allen is officially the newest athlete to join the New Balance family. That's right. After starting his career with Nike and rocking some flashy cleats last year, Allen has made the move to one of the fastest growing brands in sports. But here's the thing, this isn't just about shoes or sponsorships. It's about values. Allen was born and raised in Firebaugh, California, a small farming town that didn't have quarterback camps or elite trainers. What they did have was heart, family, and community. And now, through this partnership with New Balance, Allen is giving back in a massive way. Together, they're committing resources to Firebaugh's community sports programs, making sure young athletes in that town have opportunities Josh himself never had growing up. We're talking access to training, facilities, and support that could change kids' lives. In his own words, Josh said, "I'm proud to share I'm joining the New Balance family, a brand that, like Firebaugh, is built on family, community, and authenticity. My parents, the greatest role models I can ask for, built their lives on those principles and raised my siblings and me the same way." Man, that's the kind of leader you want representing Buffalo. Not just a superstar on Sundays, but a guy who carries himself with humility and never forgets where he came from. And let's be real, for New Balance, this is a major statement. Their roster already features stars like Coco Gauff, Shohei Ohtani, and Cameron Brink. Now they've added one of the NFL's most dynamic quarterbacks. For Josh, it's not just about wearing fresh cleats, it's about aligning himself with a brand that shares his values.
And yes, Mafia, I know what you're thinking. Will these new cleats help him dodge pressure, stiff-arm linebackers, and throw lasers to Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid? Time will tell, but one thing is certain. Josh Allen is stepping into 2025 more motivated than ever, both on and off the field. Now, if you put these two stories side by side, Bass to IR and Prater stepping in, plus Allen's big partnership, they might seem unrelated. But really, they both highlight what makes this Bills team special. It's about resilience. Losing Bass hurts, but this team adjusts, brings in a seasoned pro, and keeps moving forward. No excuses, just solutions. And it's about community. Josh Allen's decision to team up with New Balance is bigger than football. It's a reminder that when you represent Buffalo, it's not just about wins and losses. It's about giving back. It's about carrying values of loyalty and family wherever you go. The team announced Friday that Bass is heading to injured reserve after dealing with nagging hip and groin issues throughout the summer. This move means he will miss at least the first 4 games of the season, making the earliest possible return Week 5 against the New England Patriots. That's a tough blow, Mafia. Bass has been a staple for this team since he was drafted in 2020. He's delivered in big moments, whether it was clutch kicks in bad weather at Highmark or the pressure cooker of the playoffs. While last season was admittedly up and down for him, he's still the kind of steady presence you want when games come down to a single possession. Now, here's the kicker, literally and figuratively. The Bills don't currently have another kicker on the roster. That's right, 2 days before Week 1 against the Ravens, this team has no active kicker under contract. That's a problem that has to be solved immediately. So, what's next? Well, the Bills had rookie Caden Jagus during the preseason, but he was released at final roster cuts. He's an option to bring back. But the free agent market is full of names the Bills could consider. Austin Seibert, who was one of the league's most accurate kickers in 2024, hitting 90% of his field goals for Washington. Eddie Pinheiro, a guy with experience who has hit from distance. Matt Prater, the 41-year-old veteran with almost 2 decades of experience and a career highlight reel that includes some of the longest kicks in NFL history. Cade York, a younger option who has had consistency issues but plenty of upside. And Zane Gonzalez, another veteran who's bounced around the league.
Each option has its pros and cons. Do you go with the steady hand of a seasoned vet or roll the dice on a younger leg who might be here long-term? With a team built to win now, my gut says the Bills lean veteran, someone who won't be rattled under primetime lights against Baltimore. Now, we all know the NFL is a game of inches. One missed field goal can be the difference between home field advantage in January or another road trip to Arrowhead in the playoffs. And let's not sugarcoat it. Special teams matter. But here's the thing, Mafia. This isn't just about the kicking game. The Bills are entering Week 1 banged up across the board. Alongside Bass heading to IR, Buffalo will also be without defensive lineman Larry Ogunjobi, Michael Hocht, and rookie Dwayne Carter, who is also on IR with an Achilles injury. That's 3 bodies missing from the rotation in the trenches. Add in the fact that cornerback Tre'Davious White is doubtful for the opener, and first-round rookie Maxwell Hairston is already on IR, and suddenly the Bills' secondary looks dangerously thin against Lamar Jackson in the Ravens. Think about that matchup for a second. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson is the headline, and it should be. 2 of the most dynamic quarterbacks in football squaring off in prime time. But if the Bills can't pressure Lamar, if the secondary is patchwork, this game could turn into a shootout. And in that type of game, every single point matters. Every extra point, every field goal attempt, it all becomes magnified. Let's put this all into perspective. The Bills are coming off a 2024 season where they claimed their 5th straight AFC East title. That's no small feat. But once again, their journey ended at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs, this time in the AFC Championship game. That's 4 out of the last 5 years that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have ended Buffalo's season. And here's the tough truth. The window for this version of the Buffalo Bills isn't going to stay open forever. Sean McDermott knows it, Brandon Beane knows it, and the players feel it. That's why every move, every roster decision, every injury matters that much more in 2025. Losing Bass for a month doesn't end the season, but it adds another hurdle for a team that already has to prove it can finally break through that glass ceiling. So what should Bills fans expect? First, a decision at kicker, likely very soon. Whether it's Prater, Seibert, Pinheiro, or even bringing back Caden Davis, Buffalo has to line up someone to kick against Baltimore. Second, Sean McDermott is going to have to get creative with his defense. No Ogunjobi, no Hoke, no Carter, possibly no Tre'Davious White. That's 3 bodies missing from the rotation in the trenches. Add in the fact that cornerback Tre'Davious White is doubtful for the opener, and first-round rookie Maxwell Hairston is already on IR, and suddenly the Bills' secondary looks dangerously thin against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Think about that matchup for a second. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson is the headline, and it should be. 2 of the most dynamic quarterbacks in football squaring off in primetime. But if the Bills can't pressure Lamar, if the secondary is patchwork, this game could turn into a shootout. And in that type of game, every single point matters. Every extra point, every field goal attempt, it all becomes magnified. So here we are, Bills Mafia. The season is about to kick off, and already we're seeing stories that define what this team is all about. A replacement kicker in Matt Prater stepping in for Tyler Bass at a crucial moment, and a superstar quarterback in Josh Allen using his platform to give back to the community that raised him. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you trust Matt Prater to hold it down until Bass is back? And what do you think of Josh Allen's move to New Balance? Do you see it as just a business deal, or is something deeper about who Josh really is? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this conversation going. And don't forget, Mafia, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with another member of Bills Nation. This season is going to be a ride, and you're not going to want to miss a second of it. Go Bills!